Hello and good day, welcome to our video channel, God's Promises. And today's video will be a fast, concise overview. Book of Daniel, chapter 7. Let's get started now. The book of Daniel, chapter 7, is a prophetic vision given to the prophet Daniel about 4 beasts rising from the sea. This chapter is symbolic and full of imagery, and it teaches us about the nature of God, the future of the world, and the ultimate triumph of God's kingdom. In this vision, Daniel saw 4 great beasts rising from the sea. The first was like a lion with eagle's wings, the second was like a bear raised up on one side with 3 ribs in its mouth, the third was like a leopard with 4 wings and 4 heads, and the fourth was a terrifying beast with 10 horns and iron teeth. As Daniel watched, thrones were set in place, and the Ancient of Days took his seat. The 4th beast was destroyed, and the Son of Man, who was given dominion, glory, and a kingdom that would never be destroyed, came with the clouds of heaven and approached the Ancient of Days. The interpretation of this vision is given to Daniel, and it reveals the future of the world and the ultimate triumph of God's kingdom. The 4 beasts represent 4 kingdoms that would rise to power in the world, and the 10 horns of the 4th beast represent 10 kings who would rise from it. The lion with eagle's wings represents Babylon, which was the first kingdom to rise to power after Judah's captivity. The bear raised up on one side with 3 ribs in its mouth represents the Medo-Persian Empire, which followed Babylon. The leopard with 4 heads and 4 wings represents the Greek Empire, under the leadership of Alexander the Great. The 4th beast, which was terrifying and had 10 horns, represents the Roman Empire. The 10 horns represent 10 kings who would come from the Roman Empire, and the little horn that uproots 3 of the other horns represents a future ruler who would rise to power and oppress God's people. However, in the midst of all of this turmoil, the Son of Man, who represents Jesus Christ, comes and is given dominion, glory, and a kingdom that will never be destroyed. This symbolizes the ultimate triumph of God's kingdom over all earthly powers and the establishment of a new world order under Christ's reign. The teachings and applications of this chapter are numerous. Firstly, it reminds us of the nature of God. The vision of the Ancient of Days sitting on his throne and the Son of Man coming with the clouds of heaven emphasizes the power, sovereignty, and majesty of God. This should inspire us to worship him and trust in his plan for the world. Secondly, this chapter teaches us about the future of the world. The rise and fall of these 4 great kingdoms and the 10 kings who would come from the 4th beast show us that the world will continue to experience turmoil and upheaval until the return of Christ. This should motivate us to live in light of eternity and to focus on things that have eternal value. Thirdly, this chapter emphasizes the ultimate triumph of God's kingdom. Despite the chaos and turmoil in the world, God's kingdom will ultimately prevail, and Christ will reign as king over all. This gives us hope and assurance that no matter what happens in the world, God is in control, and his plan will come to pass. Lastly, this chapter reminds us of the importance of remaining faithful to God in the face of opposition. The little horn that uproots 3 of the other horns represents a future ruler who would oppress God's people. This should encourage us to remain steadfast in our faith, even when faced with persecution and opposition. Overall, the book of Daniel chapter 7 is a powerful and inspiring chapter that reminds us of the sovereignty and power of God. It encourages us to persevere in faith, even in the face of adversity, and to trust in God's ultimate plan for our lives. In conclusion, the book of Daniel chapter 7 provides a detailed and fascinating account of a prophetic vision given to the prophet Daniel. The vision describes 4 beasts rising out of the sea, representing 4 kingdoms that will come to power in the future. The 4th beast is particularly terrifying and brutal, representing a kingdom that will seek to destroy God's people and persecute them relentlessly. Thank you for visiting us today. Please share with us your favorite Bible chapter below in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe, it really does help our channel grow. Looking forward to see you back here for our next video. Always take good care.